Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jai Hind, Namaskar. And I hope all of you are doing well. Good morning. So, good morning and welcome to this session. So, I hope that all of you are doing well. How is your preparation going on? Good morning. So, I welcome you all to this session. And how is your preparation going on? तो इस वीक में आप सभी लोगों ने आंसर लिखे हैं, काफी आंसर्स लिखे हैं आप लोगों ने. So, how is the preparation going on now? Good morning. Hello, so I welcome you all to the session and I hope that your preparation is going on well. We are here on 21st of August and today we have the mains exam also of UPSC. Okay, आज ही mains exam भी है. So like today we will see the paper of essay. तो essay का paper आप देखोगे and then tomorrow we will have GS paper 1 and GS paper 2. Tomorrow we will have GS paper 1 and GS paper 2, and on Sunday we will have GS paper 3 and GS paper 4 also. Okay. So after the examination, after the end of this mains exam, we will also try to see the paper 2 and paper 3 questions especially. पेपर 2 और पेपर 3 में कैसे क्वेश्चंस आए हैं उसको हम लोग स्पेशली देखेंगे इन आवर क्लासेस इटसेल्फ so that we can be getting an idea how the UPSC is asking questions. इसके पहले आप देखोगे the keywords which I have been giving you is based on the exams which are there in 2023, 24, 25. Okay. So generally the type of question or the keywords which I am adding to those questions are on the basis of 23, 24 and 25 examination. Now we will have 26 paper also, and after this 26 paper then we will see that if there is any new change, if there is any new pattern of asking question, so we will try to analyze that also. तो हम लोग उसको भी analyze करेंगे. That is one thing which we will do on Monday because tomorrow there is no such class in your editorial session. Okay. So on Monday we will see this. So let's start. आज का जो सेशन है उसको स्टार्ट करते हैं. बेसिकली देयर टुडे वी आर हैविंग टू डिफरेंट आर्टिकल्स. एक तो फिस्कल आउटलुक को लेकर है कि व्हाट इज द कंडीशन ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट राइट नाउ. तो इट इज जस्ट अ आर्टिकल ऑफ द प्रेजेंट. इसको आप नोट नहीं भी करोगे तो चलेगा. आई विल जस्ट टेल यू you can ignore this notes making part from here, but the second one is important, that is one Shakti verdict, that what the government what the Supreme Court has done in this one judgment with respect to environmental clearances. तो पहला जो आर्टिकल है उसको आप बस समझ लो कि what is the situation right now, and you don't have to note it down for the exam purpose, you don't have to note it down for the notes making purpose, you have to just see it. ठीक है, तो आपको जस्ट ये पार्ट जो है वो देखना है. okay. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट दिस आर्टिकल. See, here we look at here when we are looking at this one topic, this one topic is giving us idea about the government fiscal status as of now. Okay. That like center fiscal outlook faces geopolitical and revenue risk. Basically it is talking about this one part, that what is the condition for the government right now. Okay, that the gross tax revenue, it has grown only by 3.7%. Okay. That the tax revenue of the government, the tax revenue growth, the tax revenue growth is 3.7% only. Okay. And it's not increasing too much. The income tax and GST are also weak. Okay. Because of change in the income tax rate or because of the GST part. Okay, so we see that even the income tax and GST collection that is also something which is weaker. That we are having this one thing, that the tax revenue growth is weaker, the income tax, the GST collection, it is also weaker. Okay. Now we have also seen that the government has not been increasing the excise duty on fuel. Right now we see that fuel prices increased, but excise duty excise duty is lower. ये international market में the prices of the fuel are going high. The prices of the fuel are going high in the international market, especially during the time of April, May, June. In the first quarter, ये पहले क्वार्टर की बात हो रही है. So in the first quarter, we have seen that during the month of April, May, and June, the prices of crude oil were higher in the international market, but the government could not increase the excise duty on it. गवर्नमेंट ने काफी दिनों तक रेट को बैलेंस करके रखा. So what we have seen, due to this also, the collection of tax for government, the collection of revenue for government remained at lower level. Okay. So this is also one thing. Okay. Now there was this health and national security cess, which was there. There is one thing, a new cess, health and national security cess. National security cess. ये गवर्नमेंट ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. देयर वाज दिस रीसेंट इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ दिस health and national security cess, which was imposed. Okay. And this was there with effect from 1 Feb 2026. 1 Feb 2026 this was implemented. But despite this, it has not been very good. तो गवर्नमेंट जो है वो टैक्स रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट करने के लिए अलग अलग कोशिश कर रही है, बट व्हाट वी सी दैट इट हैज नॉट बीन वेरी मच गुड सो फार. द टैक्स कलेक्शन हैज नॉट बीन गुड सो फार इन द फर्स्ट क्वार्टर. However, in the second quarter, we might see that it will be better. Why? That we have seen that there is this reduction in the crude oil prices internationally. अभी crude oil prices जो है वो reduce हुई है. Imports have become now easier and exports are also increasing. So in the second quarter, the things are reversing. Second quarter, we can see that the things are reversing. Now we are seeing that there is more and more exports going on. The prices of imports are also coming down. And even the tax collection and other things will also grow simultaneously. तो ये जो पूरा आर्टिकल है ना, it is about the first quarter कि what was the issue of the economy in the first quarter. अब मान लो आप इस पे नोट्स बनाओगे, but then there will be second quarter, then there will be third quarter, fourth quarter. तो अभी तो इसका relevance कम है ना, कि it is not relevant for the next year, it is not relevant for a long term. So that's why we have just seen कि what is being discussed in this article. Only data is given here, but it's not relevant for long term. तो इसलिए इसको बस एक मैंने आपको brief बता दिया कि what is given in this article, but not going in detail of it. Okay. The second article is this one. देखो ऑन फ्राइडे वी हैव गॉट ओनली 2 एडिटोरियल्स. फ्राइडे को 2 ही एडिटोरियल मिलते ही हैं. एक तो डिस्कशन होता है विच इज नॉट दैट मच यूजफुल. देयर वाज वन अनदर आर्टिकल विच वाज विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस वन पार्ट की गवर्नमेंट हैज अनाउंस्ड फ्री कोचिंग्स. गवर्नमेंट ने फ्री कोचिंग अनाउंस की है. तो व्हाट विल बी द इम्पैक्ट ऑन द कोचिंग इंडस्ट्री फॉर दैट फ्री एजुकेशन. इसका कोचिंग इंडस्ट्री पे क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा. So that one article is there, that one conversation is there, whether it will be possible or not. So again, that is not relevant from the exam purpose. Interesting hai, but it's not relevant from the exam purpose. So we are skipping that. One Shakti part is important one. So we will see that. Okay. Now see, let's come to this one thing. One Shakti verdict. One Shakti verdict. So what is the main idea here? What is the main idea there? Okay. That there is this case, One Shakti versus Union of India. One Shakti versus Union of India case. Union of India case 2026. There is this One Shakti versus Union of India case 2026. And in this case, what we see that the Supreme Court, it has said that, the Supreme Court has said that, like when we are talking about this, Supreme Court has said that the union government cannot give the post facto clearance, okay, or the post environmental clearance for the projects, okay, that the union government cannot give clearances universally to all those projects which have been started without environmental clearances. So this is one of the judgment which was given by Supreme Court. This is one of the judgment which was given by the Supreme Court, that the union government cannot extend a universal clearance to all those projects which have been started without environmental clearance. Okay. Without environmental clearance. So now here the thing is, like from 2021, okay, like from 2021, what we see that there was this there was this standard operating procedure SOP which was released by the government of India, which said that if there is a project which has been started without environment clearance, they can apply for environmental clearance, and then with some penalties they can be given the environmental clearances. Okay. So what is the background of this story? What is the background of this story? When we look at the background, so what we see that in 2017 and 2021, the union government, this one announced a policy. This one announced a policy that if a project has been started without environmental clearance, then they can apply for it post operations also. Means they have already started operation, they have already started the business, they have already started the organization, the factory or the industry, and now they can again apply for this clearance. Okay. So here it was said that if a project has been started without any clearance, without any environmental clearance, then instead of shutting it down, they can apply for environmental clearance. तो गवर्नमेंट सेड दैट कि वी विल नॉट शट यू डाउन, हम आपकी जो कंपनी है उसको बंद नहीं करेंगे, वी विल नॉट क्लोज योर प्रोजेक्ट, बट देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई फॉर क्लियरेंस. So now the thing is ki they were having this option. They were having this option ki like the even if they have not taken a even if they have not taken an environmental clearance, they can still get it after the operations. एक बार काम स्टार्ट हो गया उसके बाद क्लियरेंस मिल जाएगा. And in that they have to give certain penalty, they have to give certain like fee, and they can get the environmental clearance. The problem was that many of the polluting industries were taking this approach. They knew that if they go for establishment of a project without if they go for establishment of a project with environmental clearance, it may not be possible. उनको ऐसा लगता था कि अगर वो पहले environmental clearance मांगेंगे तो मिलेगा नहीं. So let's start the project and later on we will give some penalty, we will give some compensation, and then we will get the environmental clearance. So this was one of the approach which was adopted by multiple companies. ये approach था जो multiple companies के द्वारा adopt किया गया. So now Supreme Court is saying that after this, Supreme Court is saying that in the One Shakti versus Union of India case said that the union government cannot give clearances universally to all those projects which have been started without environmental clearance. So it means now that one clearance has been paused, but here there is one catch. Now suppose that if a project has got a clearance in 2024 under the new notification, what will happen to them? Like, what is the implication of this verdict? What is the implication of this verdict? That how it is going to impact? The implication of this verdict. What is the implication of this verdict? What about those projects which got clearance post operation, operation of project? Between 2021 and 26. Suppose that there is a project which has got the clearance from the union government under the new scheme. अगर कोई project है जिसको clearance मिल गया between 2021 to 26 under the new scheme of government. So what happens to them now? अब उनका क्या होगा? That if there is a project which has got clearance between 2021 to 26 under the new scheme of the government, when they have started a project, they were not having clearance, but they get post environmental clearance under the new scheme of government. So what will happen to them? Will their clearance got cancelled? So the thing is, the verdict had said that there will be no impact on them. There is going to be no impact on such projects. No impact on such projects. What we see that this will be applicable on new approvals. This is applicable. The verdict is not applicable in retrospective manner. The verdict is not applicable in retrospective manner. Okay. So what we see that it is not having the retrospective effect. This one is going to have a prospective effect. Prospective effect means this is something which will be applicable on new approvals. This is something which is applicable on new approvals. So this is one of the part that it is going to be applicable on new approvals. It is going to be applicable on new approvals, not the previous ones. Now there is again this one question there is again this one question that suppose a project has been started in 2024. Let's hear this question. Suppose a project is there which has started in 2024. And when the project was started, it didn't get the environmental clearance. जब प्रोजेक्ट की शुरुआत हुई उसको environmental clearance नहीं मिला. And later on, they have applied. Now they are applying for like post operation environmental clearance. कि 2026 में इस verdict के बाद अगर वो अप्लाई करते हैं तो will they get the environmental clearance? Okay. Now the question is, can union government provide post operation environmental clearance? This is one question, that can union government provide the post facto clearance? Okay. कल का पीडीएफ रॉन्ग अपलोड हो गया है, कौन से क्लास का? इवनिंग क्लास या मॉर्निंग क्लास? Okay, I will inform the team. So what we see that can union government provide post operation environmental clearance? That can they provide this post operation environmental clearance? The answer is no for universal. It cannot be a universal rule. The thing is, it cannot be a universal rule. It cannot be a universal rule. However, it will be decided on case to case basis. On case to case basis. तो देखो यहां पे भी कोर्ट ने ऑप्शन छोड़ दिया है, ठीक है, यहां पे भी कोर्ट ने ऑप्शन दे दिया है कि ऑल्दो दिस विल नॉट बी अ यूनिवर्सल रूल, दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ यूनिवर्सल रूल, इट मींस फॉर एवरी प्रोजेक्ट दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी एप्लीकेबल. ऐसा नहीं कि हर एक प्रोजेक्ट में आप ऐसा ही कर लोगे. You cannot do this for every project. However, this is a balance. This is creating a balance. Although it is not applicable as a universal rule, however, in case to case basis, you can think about this. Okay, that what we see that this is like giving an opportunity. This is like giving an opportunity that some of the projects can still get clearances, but universally this will not be applicable. Case means project of the company. Case means project of the company. So here the Supreme Court has given an opportunity window that every project is not the same. In some projects, the union government may still go for providing the clearances. So this is one of the things which we have seen. Okay. Like this can be a one-time solution, but not a permanent one. Okay. They can go for one-time solution, not a permanent one. And at the same time, it will be limited to a specified category of. Okay. So what is the implication? We see that this is going to be a one-time solution, not permanent one. So it can be one-time solution. Plus, at the same time, it will be limited to a specified category of projects. Okay. So this one will also be limited to a specified category of projects. So it is not going to be applicable to all projects. It will be limited to a specified category of projects. Okay. Then at the same time, what we also see that there must be environmental safeguard. Okay. That it should be accompanied by environmental safeguards. So court has given this opportunity. Court has given this opportunity that on one side, this will not be a universal rule, but on the other side, there is still a chance. There is still a chance that you can be giving some approval to some of the projects. It is not a universal rule that every project will not get the clearance. But here the court has given an option. So why the court has done this? What is the intention behind it? What is the intention behind it? What is the intention behind it? It is creating a balance. It is about creating a balance between environmental conservation and economic development. And economic development. Those specified project will be decided by the union government. Okay, ये court decide नहीं करेगी ना. This is something which will be like which will be decided by the union government. The union government will decide on the basis of like the union government will create a framework of the genuine legacy cases. Like some projects has been started and they have not got the environmental clearance, but they are still demanding for post facto environmental clearance or post operation environmental clearance. So what will be the policy for them, whether they will be getting it or not? It will be decided again by the union government. क्योंकि पॉलिसी मेकिंग किसका हिस्सा है? पॉलिसी मेकिंग डजंट कम्स विद इन द एम्बिट ऑफ जुडिशियरी. अगर जुडिशियरी पॉलिसी मेकिंग करने लगे तो देन इट विल बी कॉल्ड ए जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म या जुडिशियल ओवररीच. If the judiciary starts making policy, then it will become a part of judicial overreach. अगर जुडिशरी ही पॉलिसी डिसाइड कर दे कि what will be allowed, what will not be allowed, what will be the framework for this, then it will become a case of judicial overreach. So here the judiciary has given this one option to the union government that you can decide it on case to case basis. But again, if you are going arbitrary, if you are doing arbitrary, if you are giving this arbitrary environmental clearances, then again it will be reviewed by the Supreme Court. अगर आपने फिर से arbitrary दिया, so then it is going to be reviewed by the Supreme Court. So this is something that this is trying to make a balance. एक balance create करने की कोशिश की जा रही है कि the previous cases, those who have got the retrospective clearances, those who have got the clearances after operation before 2026 verdict, they will continue to operate, but no new such clearances will be provided in general. जनरली अब नए क्लियरेंसेज ऐसे नहीं दिए जाएंगे. हाँ, इट कैन बी डिसाइडेड ऑन केस टू केस बेसिस, बट देयर विल बी नॉट बी अ यूनिवर्सल रूल. ये हर एक प्रोजेक्ट को इन्वायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस ऐसे ही मिल जाएगा. The thing is, under the 2006 EIA notification, environmental impact assessment, it is mandatory to obtain environmental clearance before starting a new project. Okay. So under the EIA rules, okay, what we see that under EIA, under this environmental impact assessment rules of 2006, it is mandatory. It's mandatory to obtain clearances before starting a new project. So it is mandatory to obtain clearances. So some companies are violating it. Some of the companies are violating it. So there will be no such blanket clearance, but yes, it can be decided on a case-to-case basis. That is something which has been said by the सुप्रीम कोर्ट वर्डिक्ट. ठीक है, तो उसी के बेसिस पे आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है. आई थिंक दिस इज क्वाइट अ इजी क्वेश्चन फॉर यू कि द वन शक्ति वर्डिक्ट मेक्स अ बैलेंस बिटवीन एनवायरमेंटल कंजर्वेशन एंड डेवलपमेंटल नीड्स. कमेंट. So I think you can write this answer quite easily. I think you can write this answer quite easily, that it provides this balance between environmental conservation and developmental needs. ये आंसर तो लिख सकते हैं हम सभी लोग. तो नाउ, तो देखो आज तो दो ही आर्टिकल्स थे. ठीक है, जस्ट लेट मी डिस्कस द प्रीवियस वन. कल जो क्वेश्चन दिया था, डिस्कस द फैक्टर्स बिहाइंड द सब पार परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ पार्लियामेंट इन द प्रेजेंट टाइम्स. What lessons can Parliament draw from the past to perform better? Also give your opinion to reform the parliamentary functioning. So how many of you have written this answer? कितने लोगों ने आंसर लिखा है? कमेंट कीवर्ड को डिस्क्राइब कर दीजिए. ओके, आई विल कम टू दैट. Okay, let me discuss this question first and then I will come to the comment keyword. Sir, if it was mandate under EIA rule, then how the post facto policy was passed? It's all about government. Government का एक rule, government का दूसरा rule. It is a government rule और government अपने rule में कभी भी change कर सकती है. Okay. So it was the government rule of 2006 और दूसरा भी जो आया वो भी government का rule है. Now see, when we are having this one answer, देखो यहां पे क्या क्या चीजें हैं. पहला पार्ट तो पूछ रहा है फैक्टर्स एंड द कीवर्ड वाज डिस्कस. तो इफ द कीवर्ड इज डिस्कस, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग? देखो यहां पे कीवर्ड है डिस्कस, सो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इट? इसका मीनिंग क्या है? इफ द कीवर्ड इज ऑफ डिस्कस, देन व्हाट इज द मीनिंग? देखो the reality is that I have not been able to see the copies from the last 2 days. The reality is this, आज मॉर्निंग में मैं शायद क्लास नहीं कर पाता, but then somehow I woke up, okay, thanks to the mobile phones these days, okay, and like at the last moment I woke up just before the class, okay, तो क्लास के जस्ट 1 घंटे पहले ही मैं आज उठ पाया हूँ. So that is one thing why I have not been able to go through the copies. But let us discuss this question कि यहाँ पे है क्या. Subheadings and explain. हाँ, तो I think अब आपके मन में एक चीज तो आ गया होगा कि if there is a keyword like discuss, इस वर्ड पे हमने इतनी बार प्रैक्टिस किया है. We have like practiced so many times on this keyword discuss. कि अगर ये आ रहा है तो you are aware about this, that we have to go for a subheading and then we have to explain it. ये चीज तो आपके मन में अब बैठ चुका है. हाँ, this is one thing which you have to go for. कि now we have discussed it so many times. That if the keyword comes in front of you, discuss, you are aware about. Okay. So this is one of the part which we see. Okay. We have to first discuss the factors. Okay. फिर यहाँ पे पूछ रहा है what lessons can parliament draw from the past to perform better. ये तो हमने as it is जैसा हमने बताया था वैसा आप लिख दोगे. Lessons from the past इसको आप बता दोगे कि व्हाट लेसन्स कैन बी ड्रॉन. सिंस इट इज आस्किंग प्लूरल, तो आपको 2-3 एग्जाम्पल देने हैं. इफ इट इज सेइंग लेसन्स, तो इट मीन्स इट इज प्लूरल, सो यू हैव टू गिव 2-3 एग्जाम्पल्स. तो सेकेंड पार्ट विल बी लेसन्स. So 2-3 examples. Then also give your opinion to reform the parliamentary functioning. इसको रिफॉर्म करने के लिए क्या क्या आप सजेशन दे सकते हो. Okay. So there we have seen the suggestions also, that what can be there, what can be there. You can also say that fixing the time limit or increasing the time limit. So then you have to give suggestions. Then you have to give the suggestions. Okay. Suggestions. अब देखो, there is one question which was there. There was one question which was there. I will come to that, Rishabh. I will come to that question about that gym part. Okay. हाँ, तो what we see this. अब देखो यहां पे एक चीज है इंट्रोडक्शन को लेकर. See, discuss the factors behind the subpar performance of the parliament in the recent times. Now there was a question कि when we are writing the introduction, then what should be the approach? What should be the approach? Okay. देखो, there is two things. One part is generally if we are having a polity related question, generally in case of a polity related question, what we try to do, that we try to write it with the help of constitutional articles. Okay. We try to write it with help of constitutional article. This is a general option. This is a general way that we started with the parliament, start with the constitutional provisions. But here the question is about the performance. Here the question is about performance. So when you have to talk about the performance, you can quote the data. Here you can quote the data. Here you can quote the data. So in general, we start with this constitutional article. But since here it is asking about the performance, you can quote the data with respect to the recent performances in the parliament. That what has been the recent productivity of the parliament. So I think इसके बारे में भी आपको awareness है कि what has been the recent productivity in the parliament. So you can take the hint from there कि आप वहां से क्या लिख सकते हो. Okay. Now, when you are writing the conclusion, देखो, sometimes you can get this one thing कि you can take the hint of writing the solution from your syllabus also. आप syllabus से भी देख सकते हो. आपके syllabus में एक चीज दिया होता है, comparison of Indian parliamentary or Indian institutions with global institutions और global part. वैसे आपके सिलेबस का ये पार्ट है ना, कंपैरिजन ऑफ इंडियन पार्लियामेंट्री स्ट्रक्चर विद दैट ऑफ यूके, विद दैट ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, विद दैट ऑफ कनाडा, विद दैट ऑफ यूएस. ठीक है, तो हमने ये देखा कि वी हैव दिस वन थिंग दैट इन आवर सिलेबस देयर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ कंपैरिजन बिटवीन डिफरेंट थिंग. तो कंक्लूजन में सपोज दैट यू आर राइटिंग अ कंक्लूजन वेयर यू आर कंपेयरिंग कि हाउ द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ अदर कंट्रीज आर वर्किंग, कि जहां पे बाकी जो कंट्रीज हैं जैसे यूएस में और यूके में, कि देयर इज अ दिस वे ऑफ वर्किंग कि सीनेट इज और द पार्लियामेंट्री कमिटीज आर ऑलवेज यूज्ड, कि हमेशा पार्लियामेंट्री कमिटी का यूज होता है किसी बिल को पास करने के लिए, या देयर इज अ फिक्स अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, देयर इज अ फिक्स अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम कि दे हैव टू वर्क फॉर 150 days, 180 days, और पार्लियामेंट्री मीटिंग्स, द पार्लियामेंट्री सेशंस आर एक्सटेंडेड. तो ये सब आप कुछ ग्लोबल एग्जाम्पल कोट कर सकते हो. यू शुड हैव सम ग्लोबल एग्जाम्पल फॉर द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ पार्लियामेंट, फॉर द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ स्टेट एंड सेंटर रिलेशन, फॉर द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ फाइनेंस कमीशंस फ्रॉम द इंटरनेशनल एग्जाम्पल्स. तो हम एक इंटरनेशनल एग्जाम्पल्स को यहां पे कोट कर सकते हैं कि हाउ द अदर कंट्रीज आर सॉल्विंग दिस चैलेंज. उनके यहां भी तो पॉलिटिशियंस हैं. They are also having politicians. They are also having debate discussion. So how they are managing? So what we see that we can put some global example. और इसके लिए आपको थोड़ा सर्च करना पड़ेगा. You have to search a little bit on this part, that you have to add some global example in the conclusion. तो इफ यू हैव मेंशन बोथ आर्टिकल एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी दैट्स वेरी गुड, ठीक है। तो ये पार्ट बहुत अच्छा है कि आप अगर दोनों को इंक्लूड कर दे रहे हो, आर्टिकल 85 ऑल्सो एंड परफॉर्मेंस ऑल्सो, देन इट्स क्वाइट गुड। तो देखो यही तो एक इंप्रूवमेंट लाना है ना आपको आंसर में, कि द आंसर बिकम्स मोर एंड मोर ऑथेंटिक, इट बिकम्स मोर एंड मोर स्टैंडर्ड आंसर। तो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डू। और अगर आप ये सब चीजें कर पा रहे हो, लाइक आई थिंक दोज हु आर अटेंडिंग द सेशंस रेगुलरली, आई थिंक नाउ यू हैव बीन एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हाँ पॉलिटी का आर्टिकल आए तो वी हैव टू स्टार्ट विथ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल आर्टिकल। If there is a question with respect to performance or anything, you are also starting with data. तो ये चीज अगर आप रेगुलरली देख रहे हो आंसर, वी आर डिस्कसिंग द आंसर्स ऑन रेगुलर बेसिस एंड देन यू कीप ऑन लर्निंग फ्रॉम इट। दिस इज वन थिंग विच यू हैव टू डू। यू हैव एडेड अ फ्लो चार्ट ऑल्सो आफ्टर दिस। तो फ्लो चार्ट अबाउट व्हाट, किस चीज के बारे में फ्लो चार्ट आपने बनाया है? हाँ, यू इफ यू सी, if you want, you can make a flow chart that with respect to parliament functioning या इसका impact चाहो तो आप बना सकते हो। Although it is asking like what is the need, what are the factors which are responsible for this. So if you have made, it's quite good, but even if you have not made, then also it's fine. कई बार क्वेश्चंस के डिमांड के अकॉर्डिंग हमें लिखना होता है। नहीं, बहुत ज्यादा डेटा नहीं लिखना है। आई एम आस्किंग यू जस्ट राइट वन डेटा इन द इंट्रोडक्शन। पूरा डेटा नहीं लिखना है, जस्ट राइट वन इन द इंट्रोडक्शन। ऐसा नहीं कि वी हैव टू राइट ऑल द डेटा ऑफ ऑल द सेशंस, जस्ट दिस वन बेसिक पार्ट, जस्ट दिस वन बेसिक पार्ट की what has been the performance of the parliament in the recent times. Writing optional answers, क्या है ऑप्शनल आपका? ऑप्शनल इज रिक्वायरिंग अ डिफरेंट अप्रोच। तो हर एक ऑप्शनल का थोड़ा एक अलग अप्रोच होता है। यू हैव ऑल्सो मेंशन अबाउट हिस्ट्री ऑफ डिक्लाइनिंग ऑफ सिटिंग्स। हाँ हाँ, ये पार्ट को आप जरूर मेंशन कर सकते हो। लाइक सपोज यू आर मेंशनिंग फ्लो चार्ट, तो इसमें अगर आप इस पार्ट को ऐड करते हो ना, तो दैट विल बी द एक्स फैक्टर ऑफ योर आंसर, ठीक है। दैट मैं देख लूंगा ऋषभ, मैं देख लूंगा, ठीक है। देयर इज वन थिंग कि लाइक सुजीत हैज मेंशन दिस, आई थिंक आपका नाम कुछ और है बट आपने सुजीत लिखा हुआ है। तो यस, इफ यू हैव मेंशन अबाउट दिस वन थिंग दैट हाउ द नंबर ऑफ सिटिंग्स आर डिक्लाइनिंग हिस्टोरिकली, अगर आपने उसको लेकर कुछ फैक्ट या डेटा या कुछ ग्राफ भी बना दिया है, तो देन ऑल्सो इट्स वेरी गुड। तो वो आपके आंसर का एक्स फैक्टर हो जाएगा, वेर यू माइट बी गेटिंग सम एक्स्ट्रा मार्क्स। मान लो 0.5 मार्क्स एक्स्ट्रा मिल जाए या 0.25 मार्क्स एक्स्ट्रा मिल जाए, तो दैट विल बी द एक्स फैक्टर, ठीक है। फैक्ट्स बिहाइंड सब परफॉर्मेंस पर फ्लो चार्ट बनाया था, ओके। तो देन यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट ऑल्सो नुसरत, आपको उसको एक्सप्लेन भी करना है। ये चीज जरूर याद रखना कि सिंस द कीवर्ड इज डिस्कस, यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन इट। हाँ, इवन जैसे कई लोग फ्लो चार्ट के फॉर्म में रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं ना, लाइक सपोज दैट यू आर राइटिंग इन योर पेज लाइक दिस, कि अगर आप पेज पे ऐसे लिख रहे हो, सपोज यू आर मेकिंग फैक्टर्स बिहाइंड subpar performance, okay? And there you are making flow chart. Okay, suppose you are making a flow chart about lack of mutual respect, ठीक है। तो if you are making lack of mutual respect, तो आप पहले ऐसा लिख दो, lack of mutual respect, और फिर उसको नीचे डिफाइन कर दो, इसको नीचे यहां पे डिस्कस कर दो। ऐसे ही इधर एक कर दो, इधर एक कर दो, इधर एक कर दो, बट डिस्कस इट। So this is one thing which is required. Even if you're writing in the form of flowchart, give a small subheading और फिर उसको explain कर दो. That is one thing which will be required in the answers. Okay. So I hope you have written answers in this week. Okay. Next week say I will be getting more time. Okay. So thank you so much. आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं. I have given you the questions. I have given you this one question, the one Shakti verdict. Sir, if we are giving heading, it should be exact question demand. No, you can mix certain words also, you can change it a little bit also. जरूरी नहीं कि exactly जैसा question में लिखा हुआ है वैसा ही, you can change it a little bit also. There was one question about the comment keyword. Okay, there was one question about the comment keyword. देखो, comment keyword is something which is like open ended. You can talk about all the different components and in the end of the answer you can give your opinion. तो कमेंट कीवर्ड में आपको हर एक डायमेंशंस को देखना है, हर एक डायमेंशंस को देखना है. यू हैव टू लुक एट ईच एंड एवरी डायमेंशंस ऑफ द आंसर एंड देन यू कैन गिव योर ओपिनियन एट द एंड. ये ओपन एंडेड कीवर्ड होता है. दिस इज ओपन एंडेड कीवर्ड. लाइक सपोज हियर यू हैव टू टॉक अबाउट like environmental, how it is making a balance, how it is making a balance. आप इस पे भी चर्चा कर सकते हो कि how it creates a balance. Okay. पहले ये है क्या? First you can explain that what is this one Shakti verdict, how it creates a balance, what can be the challenges, what can be the solution, what is your opinion. तो ये चीजें कर सकते हो और इसमें जरूरी नहीं कि आपको सबको एक्सप्लेन करना है. यू कैन यूज फ्लो चार्ट्स इन ऑर्डर टू राइट दिस. देखो, इफ यू आर आई विल सजेस्ट यू voyage, if you are first timer, then it will take time. The reason being कि आपका सिलेबस अभी स्टार्ट हुआ है, तो then it is a challenging part. तो अगर आपका बैच अभी स्टार्ट ही हुआ है तो आई थिंक बाय द नेक्स्ट ईयर प्रीलिम्स योर सिलेबस विल जस्ट गेट कंप्लीटेड. तो आपको उसके एक साल आगे का टाइम लेकर थोड़ा चलना चाहिए. That you should start preparing from now, but it is quite challenging to finish in the same year when you are finishing your subject. पहले क्या था, पहले सिलेबस थोड़ा सा कम था, but now new current affairs, new dimensions are getting added. तो सिलेबस is becoming vast year by year. तो हर साल कुछ नई चीजें ऐड होती जा रही है. तो then you have to accordingly read the like the legacy part also plus the new part also. So it becomes challenging. तो हर साल जो सिलेबस है वो और वास्ट होता जा रहा है. तो अकॉर्डिंगली इट विल टेक टाइम. सर, हिंदी में कीवर्ड है प्रकाश डाले, उसमें क्या होता है, मींस यू हैव टू जस्ट मेंशन इट. यू हैव टू जस्ट मेंशन इट. देयर आर टू ऑप्शंस ऑफ इट. ठीक है, राइट इट एंड देन मेक अ टॉर्च. यहां से एक टॉर्च होगा जिससे प्रकाश डाला जाएगा, और यू कैन जस्ट मेंशन द लाइंस. You can just highlight the points. Highlight means you have to just mention it without explaining it in detail. Okay. I think we will have something for PT in January. We will have something for PT in January. Okay. हाँ, केवल पॉइंट्स में आपको बताना है. हाँ, इस पे कुछ बताने वाला था. देखो, देयर वाज अ टाइम व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू गो टू जिम, then it was like then I have started having morning classes, और जब से morning classes start हुआ then it became almost impossible. So there was a time when I used to go, I was having this morning time like 6 to 7 a.m. तो 6 से 7 बजे मैं जाता था, but then now it's not possible to go in the morning, and at the same time I'm traveling a lot. Like in the last 8 months, 7 months I am out of Delhi. In the last 8 months, for 7 months almost I'm out of Delhi. So that is also a challenge. इवनिंग सेशन में भी तो दिक्कत है ना, 7:30 में क्लास खत्म होती है, एंड बाय द टाइम द क्लास इज ओवर आई एम लेफ्ट विथ नो एनर्जी फॉर एनीथिंग. नहीं, वी विल नॉट हैव अध्ययन बैच दिस ईयर, हर्षित, but before the prelims exam we will try to have something. हाँ, that is one thing which I am also thinking about. आंसर लिखने में AI का यूज मत करो. Write with your own intelligence. Write with your own intelligence. You are having the content, I am discussing the keyword, so write with your own intelligence, not artificial one. Yes, I am also thinking about that कि घर पे ही कुछ इंतजाम करना होगा अब. How you manage health? I have a doctor at home. That is one thing which I can say. I have a doctor at home. Demotivation. अच्छा, बाकी लोग घर में ही डिमोटिवेट कर दे रहे हैं. 7-8 योगा क्लासेस ले लीजिए वाईटी पे. So I will be doing the online yoga. Okay ना? नहीं, I make plan every week कि इस वीक कुछ तो करेंगे ही. But then it becomes challenging. मेंटेन रखने के लिए, बॉडी बनाने के लिए तो नहीं, मेंटेन रखने के लिए. For maintaining it, I used to go to gym. Okay. I have lost 16 kg once in 2021-22. It was around 96 kg. I came back to 80 kg. I've lost 16 kg by just playing badminton. What to do? Keyword जिसमें अटक जाते बार बार. Practice. This is one thing which you have to do. You have to practice on a regular basis. So if you practice on regular basis, it becomes easy. जैसे अब discuss keyword है ना, आपने इतनी बार practice कर लिया है कि it becomes easy thing. And now you know that if there is a discuss keyword, what you have to keep in mind. It will come on the KGS UPPCS channel. There also make a targets every day, study related targets. हाँ, तो study related हो रहा है तो ठीक है, that's good. है ना? मैं पहले से स्लिम लगता हूँ. Very good. Thank you. So as compared to, हाँ, अगर आप में से किसी ने मुझे 2023 में देखा होता और in the beginning of 2024, then also I was a little bit more healthy. Chalo, that will be all for today. Let's meet in the next session. Then we will discuss more editorials and gym related stories also. Thank you so much. Take care. Let's meet next time and then we will discuss more things. Thank you. Take care. All the best. Jai Hind. Thank you.